Question of the Week from the Naked Scientists.
Hello and welcome to Question of the Week from the Naked Scientists with me, Diana O'Carroll. This week we've been enjoying some typical British autumn weather. Rain.
Hello, this is Julia. I'm from Edinburgh, and I was wondering, what's that distinctive smell after it rains?
So what gives rise to that damp, earthy smell when the ground around you is damp and earthy?
I'm Beryl Zeitlin. I'm adjunct professor at the University of Calgary. Well, I looked it up, and the actual answer is we really don't know. Because odor is something that has to be a volatile chemical of some sort. It's a compound that goes to your nose, and the receptors in your nose absorb that chemical. So it has to be some sort of chemical that's in the air. In the 1960s, two researchers, Bayer and Thomas in Australia, extracted some oil from clay, and they thought that oil had a biological origin, and they thought it smelled like the smell of rain. And then that was all the research that was done on it for 10 years. And then in the 1970s, Nancy Gerber, who was one of the very prominent researchers in taste and odor, isolated 3 chemicals from actinomycetes.
Actinomycetes are bacteria that live in soil and break down plant material like leaves and twigs, making compost.
And one of those chemicals was 2-isopropyl-3-methoxypyrazine, which is what she thought Bayer and Thomas had originally isolated. And it was a chemical that smelled like rain. And she published that she thought this might be the chemical that made the smell of rain, and she thought it might have been the chemical that Bayer and Thomas had isolated. And that was it. Nobody's done anything since, as far as I can tell. It might be that the smell of rain comes from actinomycetes, and it might not, and at the moment, nobody really knows, as far as I can tell.
So it could be that these bacteria are producing the smell, but the odour jury is still out on this one. We had some suggestions on the forum, including Tay, who said it could be plants emitting lots of gases when they get wet and their pores open. And our Forumer of the Week award goes to Variola, who identified the smell as geosmin, an organic compound which bacteria, the actinomycetes, produce when they die, usually after the soil has been disturbed or it's rained following a dry period. And geosmin is one of the other chemicals that Nancy Gerber, whom our expert answerer mentioned, isolated when tracking down the earthy smell. But from the essence of soil bacteria to the essence of olives, with a question from David Karma.
Hi. For quite a few years now, we've been using olive oil-based butter in our household because we've heard of claims that since olive oil is healthy, then its butter and margarine-based counterparts are healthy as well. Does the claim still hold true that olive oil-based butter and margarine are healthier than their dairy or coconut counterparts? Thanks.
Is olive oil really better for you? And why might that be? Answers on our forum at thenakedscientist.com/forum or email chris@thenakedscientists.com. Incidentally, there's still time to take part in our survey and win Amazon vouchers worth £10 or equivalent currency. We've got 10 of them to give away by the 10th of the 10th, 2010, and we'd like to know who is listening to us and what you think of our shows. You can find the survey at thenakedscientists.com/survey.
Question of the Week is part of the Naked Scientists podcast and supported by the Wellcome Trust and UK Fast. Look us up online at nakedscientists.com.